Howdy, howdy. Welcome to video number 72, I believe. We're on that race to hit 100 by the end of the year. If I'm thinking correctly, today is Tuesday, December the 7th, 2021. I'm trying to batch videos today, and this one may actually be two. I'll probably cut it in the middle because I'm going to go over two topics in here. So if you like topic number 2 and it cuts off before, then you have to watch the video the next day. The two topics today are, I'm going to actually define what redefining success means. You've been seeing it in my titles ever since I left Fort Worth. Last week, or in the last video, I didn't wear these earbuds because being in an enclosed environment, I think you can hear me fine, and I think the sound was fine. But I thought I'd give it a try this time because my father may call when he heads home from the hospital. And I've already got him in so that I can just answer the phone. Hopefully I can put this on pause before I do. If not, I'll just have to delete it and start over. I'm trying to keep the in and out where it can be seen. I'm actually not the most technically advanced person on YouTube. I'm sure I'm about average probably. And maybe I can get it to work, maybe I can't. But anyway, let's not waste time talking about that. I've been titling my videos Redefining Success for about 2 weeks now, and I think it's time I told you what I'm thinking about that. There's actually a lot that plays into my definition of, or my new definition of success. So let's rewind till, I think it was June of this year, which is 2021. Maybe it was before that, I actually saw a TEDx YouTube on Dr. Benjamin Hardy. My shoes were feeling tight, so I stopped and turned off the video and took them off. So anyway, I used to watch a lot of YouTubes when I was at work, and I like a lot of the TEDx talks. Carolyn MYSS was one that I found Dr. O really liked. And Seth Godin is one I've actually bought a book from now. But Dr. Hardy, Benjamin Hardy, he's a occupational psychologist. You've heard me mention him in other videos. Excuse me, I've been drinking a little bit of Diet Dr. Pepper. Dr. Hardy runs, I don't even know what it's called, motivational, it's called AMP. That stands for Accelerated Momentum Program or something like that. I'd have to look that up also, but it's kind of like a motivational program, self-development. That's what it would be called the best. But he had this shirt on with the logo, and they kept blurring it out, which obviously made me want to look harder to find what it is, because if you try to block something from me, that means I probably want to know what it is. So even if it's none of my business, just when you hide something, and I'm sure TEDx has a policy that you can't advertise your program or your program, I guess is what it is, if while you're on their talk. But he had worn this t-shirt and it had AMP or maybe accelerated momentum, whatever. So anyway, I ended up Googling Dr. Hardy and AMP and finding it, and I guess I got on a mailing list and they emailed me. And about the middle of the year, he was selling it for, I guess, half price of what the full year was to get you in for the last 6 months of the year. So a bunch of people got in because my pod group, which meets every Monday night, it's an international Zoom call. I'm on there with a lady in Australia, a gentleman in New Zealand, and a gentleman in Singapore. Then I think the rest of the people are in the United States. There's one in Oregon. There's at least two of us in Texas, two in Wisconsin, and I think there was one that was either I think he was in Arizona, but his children were in the Chicago area. So I think he's in the process of moving up there. He's kind of been non-existent the last couple of meetings, but it's just basically an accountability group. We get on every Monday at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Texas time. It's like 2 in the afternoon on Tuesday over there in Southeast Asia. So they take their lunch break if they're. The lady, I think, runs a farm. The gentleman works from home. And the guy in Singapore is usually coming from a workout or something. He may be self employed also. Almost everybody in this group is self employed. Another text coming through because I don't want to turn I don't want to put the do not disturb on in when I'm the only one at home. Somebody may call that I need to answer. I think I've already said that though. When you're batching videos, you don't remember if you just thought it or you said it, or maybe it was in the one that went out yesterday, or I may say it again in the one for tomorrow. But Dr. Hardy is all about 10x and living in the gain, not the gap. And the first book we read was The Big Leap by Dr. Gay Hendricks, who's also an organizational psychologist. And I made a big leap. About 3 months later, I didn't start thinking about it when I read the book. The book was kind of the final straw. Well, really what was the final straw was when they told me I couldn't come take the leave that I had already earned, and I don't abuse leave policies. I'd probably taken 1 or 2 days of sick leave in the 3 years I was there. So I had about 5 weeks of sick leave. I had probably close to 5 weeks of vacation leave. But no, you can't take a week to go see your parents in October because you've got it on the books that you're going in November. Well, what the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China? What it has to do is that they're short staffed. They can't keep staff. So I have to pay for it. So anyway, I said, goodbye. You can just pay me anyway because 4 weeks of pay or 8 weeks of pay or whatever I ended up getting will just pay me through the end of the year. So you could have had me working for you, but no, you didn't want that. You wanted to be a stickler, so now you have another position to fill. And I am doing very well. So that's why we're going to redefine success. I mean, how much is it worth to you to be available to your parents, to be in their home when they're having a medical issue? Not being worried about okay, let me see if I can get another day off. Oh, let me see if I can get my flight rearranged. I don't have to fool with all that nonsense because I made a decision months ago that I fulfilled months ago now, I guess a month and a half. And now I'm exactly where I need to be, where I want to be, doing what I want to do. Talking to you at the moment is what I want to be doing. So let me clarify what redefining success is. Most of my life I've chased after the almighty dollar. I've gone along with the traditional definition of success. How's that working for you? How's that working for me? How did it work for me? I was self-employed for 15 years as a photographer. I'd worked full-time for Farmville Police Department, Virginia State Parks, Flash Photography, Prince William County Park Authority, Fairfax County Park Authority, Virginia State Parks, and the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority, which they now call Nova Parks. All of those before I became self-employed. And I'd done a missionary stint in Europe for 13 months out of a 3-year period. So yeah, I really did go along the traditional route. And then I worked full-time for the city of Fort Worth the last little over 3 years. I couldn't see my life really changing any. I mean, I lived a pretty good life while I worked for the city of Fort Worth. It was much better than when I was self-employed as a political photographer. I would have feasts some days and I'd have famine for months. So you have to be really good at budgeting when you're self-employed. And I'm back to self-employed now, but I've actually got more money in the bank than I've ever had. So self-employment is good when you have a cushion you can lay back on. And that cushion is going to get me through until this starts paying what it needs to pay. And I'm going to continue to give to y'all what you need, what I hope you need, what you tell me you need, until it's making enough money. Well, that doesn't sound right. I'm still going to continue to give then, but I'm going to live off my resources until I give enough that it actually starts paying me back, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's redefine success in those terms. I'm getting to do what I want to do. I'm actually only going to work about 30 hours a week at this, well, or total, I should say. That will probably include the time I'm doing the research to regurgitate to you what and explaining how my way of eating is working, what I'm experimenting with. The other day, I got to make a video of making the cheese crisps and the cheese taco shells. I was going to eat those anyway, but I got to put that video up, and it's actually doing the best of any video I've put up. It's well over 130 views, and it's only been up since Friday, and today is Tuesday. I'm not sure the first video I put up a year ago has 130 views yet. That's how much I've improved, and maybe that's because the cheese shaper is something that's for sale now, so people may look at it. I should put a link in my Amazon thing for the cheese shaper. Yeah, that's thinking now, because most people don't want the gap in the gain, but they might buy the cheese shaper if they go to Amazon, and I think it is on Amazon. So I'm going to change that link. Thank you for reminding me. So what have I done to redefine success? I have taken control of my life. I have listened to mentors like Dr. Hardy, and way back when I had access to Bill Britt in Britt Worldwide of the wonderful Amway Corporation. So now, as I talk to people about subscribing on here, I said, would you rather me invite you to an Amway meeting, or would you like to click that button? Because most people are petrified at Amway meeting, but boy, if you get in the right group, doesn't matter if you make money or not, you'll learn a lot, and that has really helped me throughout the years in how to run a business. No, all of my businesses have not been successful. In fact, my real estate flipping is what put me in the hospital and almost killed me. So, and you're not going to be in real estate now if you have a brain. I mean, it's way overpriced. The best thing to buy right now would be silver or gold or sugar. Apparently, those are the commodities that are commodities and precious metals. What do they call them? Assets that are underpriced at the moment and will go up when all this house of cards falls apart in the near future. I am not a financial planner, so don't take financial advice, but look at some of the websites or look at some of the YouTube channels that talk about those things. Rick Rule, David Morgan, ITM Trading, goldsilver.com, and Kitco, Kitco, Kitco Metals, all have people on that know more about the economy than I do. So I listen to all those people. I also listen to all the doctors at Low Carb Down Under. I've got Dr. Mabry on a speed email, if there's such a thing. His address is saved in my, I don't have to type the whole thing in, it pops up. So yeah, I get a lot of knowledge on the carnivore way of eating, on low carb, healthy fat. And my next video about talking about going rogue is going to discuss how I'm not quite on the diet during the holiday season here. Or I hate to call it a diet, it's a way of eating during the holiday season. So we may use that as the bridge to transition into this next segment, which is probably going to be another video. It'll be, if my Why Am I Alive is 70, this is 71, that'll be 72. So yeah, we're moving on up to that 100. Apparently when you get 100 videos up, the YouTube algorithm, Dad's messing me to go to dinner. It hadn't been that long since I went over there for lunch, but with 8 or 10 eateries located throughout this campus, there's no shortage of food. And I am going to talk about that in the next video, but I may go to dinner first now because now I've got to hang up and answer him. But where was I? Oh, redefining success. I am right about where I want to be right now. Oh, I was talking about all those other video that you can watch. I haven't been watching as much recently, but I had that 4-hour conference yesterday. I had to watch the replay last night because I only caught the last hour live, and I only caught about an hour, hour and a half today live. So I'll have 4 more hours to watch tonight, and I think it goes tomorrow too. But boy, these are good people. It's all about caring about your audience and building community. So please join me on CP59Fit on Facebook or CP59Fit on Instagram or both. I've learned now that I can take some of these videos and ITM Trading is just going live, I think. So y'all can watch that if you want to, but it won't be when this is broadcast because it's not going up till probably tomorrow. But ITM Live and Lynette Zhang are very good to watch if you want to get honest information about what the economy is doing. Not all the smoke and mirrors the mainstream media tells you. So my definition of success now is to be able to do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want, and how I want. And keep my stress level down and share information with good people like you. I mean, I've been texting some of my followers about this medical issue, so you'll learn more about what's going on in my life on the CP59 Fit Facebook page. And then if you tell me you're from this channel, I'll put you in a private group so we can talk even more freely, because that page is totally public. You can't make a page. You can't make a posting on a Facebook page that isn't public. But you can develop a private group, so I'll put you in a private group if you join me on the CP59 Fit Facebook page. And this is going long enough. I think you know what I'm talking about when I say redefining success, and I am actually loving it. I'm happier, I'm more relaxed. I'm here with my parents when they need me. That's probably been the biggest text I've had in the last week. Oh, I'm so glad you're there with them during this time, and I am too. You know, sometimes our parents irritate the snot out of us as we get older, but then you learn that they actually need you and you need to be available. So even if I don't move to this area in the future, I am going to be available to come here. So how do I do that? Because I have a business, I can work on here, I can work on there, I can work on the road between here and there, as y'all saw as we were driving up here. Love y'all. Bye-bye.